So coming into Vanderbilt, I knew research was something that I've always been interested in and something that I always wanted to pursue, but I never knew kind of what that would look like. The school invited a bunch of labs to sort of present on their research, obviously labs that were looking for undergrads. And I saw Dr. Toff in their scrubs and they had all these models and a 3D scanner. I was like, wait, I know what that is. And like, it's medicine, it's so cool. I think we really connected and that's sort of what led me here. I think I really started doing art at like a very young age, playing with crayons, watercolors, stuff like that. Nothing fancy, but I think it really sparked this sort of like creativity and this sort of like interest in seeing what I could create out of the things around me. And eventually, I really got into like 3D modeling and CADing. It's basically building models, or like I kind of like to call it like virtually sculpting, sort of. I think this was the first time that I really felt like I'd be able to kind of combine the more artistic side of what I do as with the more like scientific side of things as well. In the TOF lab, our focus is on surgical communication. The method that we have taken is sort of to utilize technology, particularly anything sort of like 3D related, any like 3D scanning, digital mapping, augmented reality, to sort of lessen the gap between a pathologist who's analyzing cancer samples and the surgeon who removes the tumor specimens from the body. So I think we're really bringing something that was traditionally thought of as 2D into something that is now 3D. So the side that I've been dealing with was more of like the scanning, or more of like sort of what I like to think of the more like artistic side of this project. Once the specimen is removed, we will first 3D scan it, so we have a model of what the specimen looked like, its size, its color, basically all the details. I kind of sort of start to like peek around the pathologist and sort of map what they do onto our digital specimen, making sure all the inking colors are right, I have exactly where they cut, and making sure that this specimen looks like what they are seeing too before, it's being processed. It's not something that's going to come along in 5 years or 10 years. It's happening now. To go from seeing this patient in clinic and diagnosing them to watching them go into surgery and being able to help with like the scans and the mapping and whatnot, to seeing their sort of recovery months or years later. It's incredible. I never thought that like me deciding to play with digital art and drawing would lead to like me incorporating a drawing tablet into medical research. It's just amazing seeing things that came from what was originally just a passion, a hobby, turn into something that's really impacting my future. I'm able to see what it's like to be a doctor, to go into clinic, to go into the OR, and really learn about, I guess, my future career path, or like a potential future career path. And on the other hand, I'm able to meld that with like the skills that I have from my education at Vanderbilt, from my own interests, to really do what I feel like is meaningful research.